These rules feel like common sense. Service it every 5 years. Match your metals. Don't trust gray market. Water-resistant means waterproof. They've been repeated so many times that nobody questions them anymore. That's the problem. Watch culture runs on bad advice dressed up as expertise. 8 of the most repeated rules are dead wrong, and 5 real ones are being completely ignored. We fix both today. Fake Rule 8. Watch winders will damage your movement. The warning sounds technical. Leave your automatic watch in a winder too long and you'll overwind the spring, stress the mechanism, and wear it out faster than normal use ever would. It gets repeated in forums and comment sections by people who sound like they know what they're talking about. The actual risk with watch winders is cheap, poorly shielded units that generate magnetic fields or aggressive rotation programs that keep the rotor spinning with no rest. A quality winder set to the correct turns per day setting with rest intervals does not harm your watch. It keeps your power reserve topped up without touching the crown every Monday morning. The rule is not protecting your movement. It never was. That one was relatively harmless. The next rule costs you something you notice every single time you put the watch on. Fake Rule 7. Leather straps are fine as long as they are good quality, high-quality leather. The implication is that if you spend enough on the strap, it can handle sweat, rain, and the occasional splash. Quality leather is tough. Leather is not waterproof. Not the premium stuff. Not any of it. When leather absorbs moisture, it swells, loses its natural oils, and dries into something stiffer and more brittle than before. Do that repeatedly and the strap will start to crack, delaminate, and fail at the hardware points. Light rain is fine, an occasional splash is fine. Routine swimming, hot showers, saunas, or beach days on a leather strap will shorten its life dramatically compared with rubber, nylon, or a metal bracelet. The strap category matters as much as the quality level. Most people learn that one the hard way. The next fake rule costs you credibility every time you say it out loud. Fake Rule 6. Chinese movements are always junk. The assumption is baked into collector culture. Swiss or Japanese means quality. Anything coming out of China means corners were cut, tolerances are loose, and the movement will fail inside 2 years. The market has moved on. Manufacturers like Seagull have been producing movements for decades. Their current calibers, including hand wind and chronograph movements, are regulated to accuracy levels competitive with mid-range Swiss and Japanese workhorse movements. Independent watchmakers who service them regularly describe the construction on the better Seagull lines as solid and reliable for everyday wear. Dismissing an entire country's manufacturing output as junk, while ignoring that many well-regarded microbrands run on these movements, is not a collector's insight. It is a reflex. Now we are past the minor myths. From here, the rules start doing real damage. Fake Rule 5. How loose you wear your bracelet is just a comfort preference. Tight wearers and loose wearers have argued this forever. Personal preference does play a role, up to a point. Past that point, bracelet fit becomes a wear and maintenance issue that most owners never connect to the damage they see developing. When a metal bracelet is worn very loose, the head of the watch swings and moves with each impact. That movement, combined with grit and dust that collects between the links, acts as an abrasive over time. Pins and link holes wear out of round. The bracelet starts to feel sloppy, develops visible play, and needs refurbishment or full replacement well ahead of schedule. Quiet damage, building slowly. The next rule is a mistake people make every time they bring the watch anywhere near a tap. Fake Rule 4. Water resistant means waterproof. The number on the case back sounds reassuring. 30 meters, 50 meters, 100 meters. People read that and assume the watch handles anything up to that depth without question. The rating comes from a static laboratory test. No movement, no temperature change, no impact, no aging seals. Real-world conditions are none of those things. A 30-meter rating in practice covers light splashes. It may handle a careful shower on a freshly serviced piece. A 50-meter rating handles light pool use under controlled conditions. Real swimming and snorkeling start at 100 meters. Recreational diving requires at least 200 meters minimum, and that assumes the gaskets are in good condition. Gaskets age. Every time a caseback is opened for a battery change, the seal is disturbed. Heat cycling, chlorine, and general use degrade the material over time. For any watch that sees regular water, a pressure test. Every 1 to 2 years is the only way to confirm the actual protection still matches what is printed on the caseback. One number is not keeping your movement dry. The next fake rule is one the industry has been quietly correcting for years, and most owners still have not heard about it. Fake Rule 3. Service your watch every 3 to 5 years, no matter what. The rule sounds responsible. Regular maintenance. Do not wait until something breaks. 3 to 5 years every time, regardless of how the watch is running. That standard came from older movements and earlier lubricant technology. Modern lubricants last significantly longer, and modern movements are engineered around that reality. Rolex changed its recommendation from 5 years to approximately 10 years, calling it a flexible guideline based on usage, environment, water exposure, and the age of the piece. It is not a hard deadline on a calendar. A modern watch worn in an office environment that is still keeping accurate time does not need a full service at the 5-year mark. A dive watch that sees regular salt water in hard use might need attention earlier. The watch tells you. Increasing time loss, inconsistent running, and amplitude problems are signals to act on. A date on a spreadsheet is not. Follow the condition of the watch, not a fixed schedule. That rule costs money when you follow it blindly. This next rule sounds like smart buying. It is one of the fastest ways to get burned on a serious purchase. Fake Rule 2. Gray market is always the smart move. Same watch, less money, no downside. Gray market watches are genuine. That is not the argument. They come from real authorized dealers who moved excess stock through unofficial channels. The price is lower because the official distribution path was bypassed. Here is the catch. When a manufacturer traces a serial number to a watch that left through unofficial channels, many brands will decline factory warranty work on it. The gray dealer may offer a third-party warranty, but third-party and factory coverage are not the same. Exclusions are broader. Geographic coverage can be limited, and the value of that warranty depends entirely on whether the third-party company is still operating when you actually need them. The price difference can make sense, but only if you have done the same homework you would do on a private sale. That one costs you at the moment of need. The rule at number 1 costs you from the moment you decide to buy. Fake Rule 1. Your watch is an investment. This is the rule doing the most damage in watch culture right now. Buy smart, choose the right references. Some watches can store value, and with the right picks, you can make money. Here's what the data actually shows. The overwhelming majority of luxury watches depreciate after purchase. The references that genuinely appreciate specific steel sports models and a handful of historically significant pieces represent a tiny fraction of everything sold. They require perfect condition, complete documentation, precise entry timing, and the patience to hold through market cycles that can turn cold without warning. The investment framing produces collectors who buy for imagined future buyers rather than for themselves. Watches get stored rather than worn. Expensive pieces sit in safes, purchased for occasions that never came. Meanwhile, the watch that actually fits the life being lived gets skipped because it does not have the right resale credentials. Buy watches because you want to wear them. If a specific reference has a documented track record, and you understand the market mechanics behind it, the financial dimension can be part of the thinking. But leading with investment as the primary reason is how you end up with an expensive watch you never touch, and an empty wrist where the right watch should have been all along. That is the most expensive rule on this list. Now here are 5 that actually earn their place. Real Rule 5. Protect originality over appearance. Polishing removes metal permanently. It softens case lines, rounds edges, and eliminates the geometry the manufacturer built in. Collectors and dealers consistently pay a premium for unpolished examples, even ones showing honest wear, over heavily refinished pieces that have lost their original sharpness. For any watch with long-term value potential, a case with marks but intact lines is worth more than one that looks new but has been reshaped by repeated polishing. Real Rule 4. Know what the warranty actually covers before you buy. Whether you are buying new, pre-owned, or gray market, verify whether the warranty is manufacturer-backed or third-party, what it covers, and how you access it. A lower price that comes with no realistic service path is not a discount. It is a deferred cost. The moment of purchase is the easiest time to ask. After the movement develops a problem, that conversation is over. Real Rule 3. Match the water rating to how you actually use the watch, then test the seals. If you swim regularly, snorkel, or take the watch through heat and cold cycles, the number on the case back is only the starting point. Gaskets age. A pressure test every 1 to 2 years for watches that see real water confirms the actual protection is still in place. Build that cost into owning a water-resistant watch. Real Rule 2. Research the movement, the materials, and the real service cost before any serious purchase. Not what the marketing says, not what the forum consensus is. Research the actual movement source, the case material, the realistic service interval, and the genuine production story. Buyers who do this research before purchasing make better decisions and carry less regret than buyers who rely on brand reputation or price as proxies for quality. Real Rule 1. Buy the watch that fits the life you actually live, not the one you are planning. The most reliable way to build regret in a collection is buying for occasions that have not happened yet. The formal dinner twice a year, the dive trip still on a list, the watch worn every single day is the one built for the life already being lived. Start there. Let everything else follow when it genuinely makes sense. Most of the rules holding you back were never based on anything real. They were passed around until they sounded like expertise. Now you know which ones to drop and which 5 actually matter. Like and subscribe for more.